Hey guys, in this episode I'll be evaluating Boston's free agency prospects in their coming up summer free agency period. Obviously, Boston was the second top team in the Eastern Conference, and they took LeBron and the Cavs to 7 games in the semi-final. So that was done with the team that had two missing All-Stars in Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward. So the upside is that we've got those two players coming back. So do we need to do anything in free agency? So we'll look to evaluate what they can do and changes in this year. So bringing those two players back, Gordon and Kyrie, coming back from injury. Hopefully Gordon will be back to his full health, and all reports suggest that he'll have some time in training camp to get well from that second procedure that he had in March. But he should be back to full fitness come the start of the season. And that's a top five there. Is a team that could take on Golden State much better than the Cavs, and who got swept in the finals. The contracts there, the money, they've got three players on a full contract. Kyrie coming up for a renewal in 2019, but indications are that he's happy where he is, but his money would go up to that 29 mil in the summer of 2019. Fortunately, Robert Williams fell to 27 in the draft, which filled that void that we had. So the only issue we had was that backup center or starting center if you move Al Horford to the power forward position. And fortunately, due to his Robert Williams, some medical issues with his knee and some question marks over his work ethic, he was able to fall to us at 27, which was he was supposed to be a lottery pick. So we were very fortunate in there. And number of research papers show that trade or that draft was A plus and one of the top drafts prospects in the last draft. So the only position we have question marks was that center position. With Al Horford's best position is probably a power forward. So having another center. So we've got two roster spots to fill out, and two people. So Aaron Baines and Marcus Smart, both on free agency for this summer. So we look to re-sign them. So we filled one void that we had with Robert Williams in the draft. We've got Baines and Smart up for renewal this year. So what are the options that we have? So we've got limited cap space, except the exemptions, both the mid-level and the tax under the tax threshold. So rather than who are our options other than Marcus Smart or bringing back Baines? So first off, one person that's come to mind is Avery Bradley. Whether he'd be willing to come back, we traded him out as part of that Gordon Hayward to free up some cap space. Brought in Marcus Morris when we were able to clear that max cap space for Gordon Hayward. So we shipped him out. We didn't do the dirty on him, but is he willing to come back and play for the Seas? The other one being an Australian, I've always had a soft spot for Dante Exum, and he's been unfortunate with the number of injuries he's had over his rookie contract. But he's somebody who's exciting. He is now injury free. He might be somebody look to sign in that for that final point or guard roster spot that we've got to fill. The other option is, and this is just a recent, so with Timothy Mozgov and Dwight Howard being traded between Brooklyn and the Hornets, Dwight Howard has been linked to being bought out. His final year of his contract being bought out. So that is somebody, if we were able to sign Dwight Howard, especially to say a minimum contract, then that would be a massive upgrade in that last position. He's somebody very exciting. There are talks about his locker room ethics and stuff, but coming into a new environment, he's no longer playing in that all-star defensive position that he had for a while, but he's a superstar. The other thing is Jahlil Okafor. He top rookie coming off that contract. He's now a free agent. He's been shipped around the last couple of years. Didn't play much in his last 10 or last 6 months for the Sixers. Went to Brooklyn. Had issues with his fitness levels. Had some minor stints off the bench, but with Brooklyn and Allen, they were looking at youth rather than him. Maybe he's somebody you could sign on the cheap, and he's willing to do what he can to get back to that level he was at as a rookie. The other one similar is Nerlens Noel. He didn't have a great season last year, so he's willing. He might be another person you could get cheap. I would suggest that Baines is the better option over Foot or Noel. But if you're able to get Howard on the cheap, then that would be option one. Option two would be to re-sign Baines, who he was actually at the awards presentation, sitting on the table for Boston with Jason Tatum and Danny Ainge and co. So that suggests that he loved playing for us last year, and I dare say that that's the signing that will be made. But Howard would be the other one. Maybe you look, instead of getting that second point guard, you do re-sign Howard and you get Baines. Then that way Al Horford can play in the power forward position basically full time. So let's say we do re-sign, or we are able to sign Howard into that final center position. We look at our top 8 players here. So come postseason, very rarely do you spread beyond 8 player rotation. So I've got the performance rating for our top 8 players if we're able to sign Dwight Howard, which comes out at 17.6, which is exactly the same as the top 8 players for Golden State Warriors. The Hampton 5 plus Zaza, who didn't play much in the postseason, so he's probably not really there in their postseason rotation, with Draymond Green covering that position. But then all the others were there, so that's their top 8, 17.6, exactly comparable to Boston's. So that was the evaluation of Boston's free agency prospects. Not a lot needed to go on, especially with the signing of Robert Williams in that center position. We either bring back Marcus Smart and Aaron Baines, but the upgrade there would be to get Dwight Howard. If we were able to sign him, he would slot into that starting center position. Would free up Al Horford to play his more preferred role as a power forward. And then your bench unit would be run, or you could sparingly use Gordon Hayward coming back from injury. He would then eventually come postseason or later in the season slot into that starting unit, and maybe Jaylen Brown or would start to run that second unit. If you like this video, please subscribe, add in any comments. We'll be evaluating other teams. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you.